if they would have shown how Garlemald was destroyed and then you come into a ruined landscape afterwards, it would have made a lot more sense.
The fist fight with fucking Xenos as a Lalafell. It's wrong. I changed my race because of that. It was absolutely... It's like watching a T-Rex try to punch someone.
That's what you see with all the other Ascians. Like, these really deep stories. And then you just see this guy who literally does not give a fuck.
That's what the entire expansion is about. How do you deal with death and despair? That's it. That's what it's about.
It would actually help if my microphone was unmuted as well. But welcome to another Alith-Cast, guys. I was going to say live and on time. First time, I think. So we are getting better. We're mastering the art. And I'm joined once again by my fellow Alith-Casters. We've got some returning faces and some regulars. So let's just go around the group and give you guys a chance to say hi to everyone who's joining us. Starting with you, Bob.
Hello, it's been a while. Say hello to my cat.
Bob has returned with the cat in hand. Mm-hmm. He's returned with backup. So we're getting a well done from Softy in the chat, which suggests to me that all is working. But let us know, guys, if the sound is okay, if volume, etc., is working fine. That'd be great. Cristina, welcome once again.
Hi.
Hasn't been that long, has it?
Oh, it's been too long.
A whole week. We're spoiling everyone with another Alith-Cast only one week later.
Yep. Yeah. I even missed you all after 1 week.
I'm glad you're loving the caster life, Cristina.
Yeah.
Cool. And our very own Hector's lecturer from the EU representing is back once again in the hot seat. Welcome, Hennek.
Back by special request this week.
We dragged him.
Hello.
We dragged him back on.
Yeah.
I said if we're talking about
you need to be on this episode.
I said if we're talking about Criterion, there's no way you're getting off the hook.
I'll take it. And also, my background may be a little bit blurry, but you're gonna have to live with that. So hope that's fine.
All good. All good.
Yeah, looks all right.
Not a problem. Okie dokie. So we are going to dive straight in. So because we did an Alith-Cast last week, we are not going to do a FC News segment this time around because there's only so much things that can happen in the FC in the space of a week. But we've got plenty to talk about in this show, so I'm sure it's going to be pretty jam-packed anyway. And indeed, we're here to talk about everything that was covered on the second day of the FanFest, which was effectively the live letter. I think it was a 78 live letter. And they went through all the first details for patch 6.5, which we now know is titled Growing Light. So it sounds pretty meaty. We're going to get stuck in. I'm just going to get some pictures up. I will give everyone a warning before we dive into the discussion that yes, this is going to be spoilerific. And the reason for that is because this is a MSQ patch. So you can't really talk about an MSQ patch without talking about the MSQ. So yes, there is going to be some story spoilers if you haven't finished Endwalker, etc. But you have been warned. I'm going to find out how I get these screenshots up. That would be helpful. Mm-hmm. Here we go. So what I've got, guys, is just to give everyone a heads up, if you didn't watch the live letter, they did share quite a few screenshots for patch 6.5. We haven't got a 6.5 mini site yet. Square Enix haven't put it up yet, but they did share quite a lot of screenshots at FanFest. So I was able to pull all those screenshots together. I'm just going to let them run randomly throughout the cast, but they're going to be showing all the different content that we're going to be talking about that's coming with 6.5. So for my fellow casters, just feel free to comment as the pictures pop up on screen. But let's start up with I guess the key details. So in terms of timings, this is going to be another one of those 2-part MSQ patches, and I guess it's because we're wrapping up the 6.x series. So in terms of dates, we've got part 1 of the MSQ, which is going to be early October. So patch 6.5 basically lands early October, and that will have the first part of the final MSQ, if that makes sense. And then much later, they said mid-January, we're going to get the second part of the MSQ, which will be the final story content for 6.x. So that's going to be in January. That'll be patch 6.55. There is a small update in the middle in late October, which is 6.51, but we'll go through it in order and talk about it. But you can see it on the screen there. Those are the timings. So yeah, lots and lots of MSQ, so we'll definitely dive into that first. So let's get those screenshots I promised up. For those of you that missed the Fan Fest, this will be a good chance for you to see all the stuff that was shared. Cool. All right, let's dive straight in. So 6.5, which is landing early October. We don't have a specific date yet. Obviously, it's going to be an MSQ patch, so we're going to be, as far as I'm expecting, starting to wrap up the Final Fantasy IV story arc. The Gold Bears, Zeramus, Zero, all of that stuff is going to be drawing to its conclusion. I imagine we're going to do some MSQ in 6.5 and it won't finish, and then we'll do the second part of the MSQ in January next year, and then that will be the end of it. So I've got lots of opinions and thoughts on this, but I've been talking for a bit, so I'm gonna, I guess, hand over to you guys. Let's just talk about the MSQ first. And I know, Hennek, MSQ is your favorite topic in FF14, but you'll have to bear with us just for maybe 5 or 10 minutes while we touch on MSQ.
I have kept up with Endwalker's story. It's just everything before that I...
fair enough. Okay,
all the Hildy.
Yeah, all the Hildebrand is skipped. All the... Up to Heavensward, I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And then there's just a vacuum, and now we're on the moon.
I just thought you didn't care about the story, but I'm mistaken.
Oh, no, I do care to some extent. I'm impatient.
So what's everyone's...
wonder,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, I do wonder how much of a leftover there's going to be after 6.5, because if I just look at what releases in 6.5 versus 6.55, the 55 is basically just, run up to, and it's not really including any of the 4 stuff. So I'm kind of guessing they're going to wrap up the whole Golbez in 6.5 clean, and then in 6.55 you get the, oh wait, there's a whole new place to go.
The transitionary period
that's
into
just ready to
7.0.
leave, basically.
Yeah.
Our boat is broken. Go find some wood somewhere, please.
Yeah, that would make sense, because I said on the previous episode that what was very different this time from previous expansions was that we spent the whole period between one expansion and the other building up to the new expansion, but this time we didn't. So this time we basically got a filler story, which was the Final Fantasy IV story arc, which apparently now is the filler story. And so we've had no build up to Dawn Trail. And so, like you say, Bob, it would make sense that they would have to give us some build up, and I guess 6.55 really is their only chance to do that. So that makes sense.
Probably.
So what's everyone's thoughts, hopes, expectations for where the story is going to go? Has anyone got any theories or anything they're hoping for?
I don't have real theories. I just hope that I won't be crying too much. I said that previously as well. I have to say that Endwalker was kind of okay, especially the latest main story quests that they added. I didn't cry so much. But yeah, I just hope I'm not gonna cry, and I honestly don't know what to expect, because I'm also figuring that they will start all over again with something fresh, something new. It's probably gonna be something like, oh look, we're going on a vacation, and then Square Enix is gonna be like, psych, you're not, somebody is dying, somebody needs help, whatever. So yeah, we'll see.
I think in terms of like how emotional you're gonna feel, Cristina, I think it depends on how invested you are in the Golbez Zero Final Fantasy IV story, because they, like Bob said, they're going to be wrapping up that story. We're obviously going to face off against Zeramus. We're going to find out what happens with Zero and the 13th. Does she stay with us on the source?
That's one thing I was thinking of. Yeah, did they actually show Zero at all in the 7.0 stuff?
In 7.0 stuff, I don't.
7.0.
I haven't seen
They
it.
showed
think
Graha.
so, no.
They showed all the other. No, I think she is staying here. She's not coming with us for the rest of the story. Zero is done in 6.5 or 5.5.
I hope not, because I kind of like her. And I
me too.
like the way
That's also why I think they're gonna do it. They don't want to kill off main characters.
No, but I mean, you never know. It's Square Enix, but I'm like, I really like Zero, and also the fact that like the first time when you get to see her in the main story, she was a bit like, she didn't understand how friendship worked and all those things. So I got quite emotional by seeing how she started learning to do things without expecting a bunch of things for it back and all those things. And yeah, it made me kind of emotional. So I am aware that my heart will be probably broken again and again and again.
That is
might join us, but
my one like theory, or not necessarily theory, but that's where I think it's going. It's that Zero is done. We're not gonna be seeing much of Zero after this. If it's because she dies or goes back to the void or whatever it is, I have no idea. But I think her arc ends here.
There is one curveball they could throw us, because the bit that I'm really confused about is in the whole Golbear's story arc. What they were making very clear is that Zero's home, the 13th, used to be a normal world like ours, and it got turned into the void. I forget, because through that event, I forget what it was called. I thought, if you go away, before we found out about Dawn Trail and everything, my theory was that the new expansion, we would be working at restoring the 13th back to how it was. And clearly that's what Zero wants. That's what Golbear's wanted. Like Golbear's either wanted his world to be returned to normal or take over our world instead, which is why we ended up battling him. And so they could have one of the new zones, just one of the zones, be the 13th. And while we're doing the whole story, the Dawn Trail story, we're also working with Zero to try and restore the 13th. They could do that if they wanted to not just end it like a hard end. But if they say, well, we need that story to be wrapped up properly. And I feel like if we haven't restored the 13th and Zero hasn't found her, her happy ending, then we've not really concluded the FF4 story.
But it all depends, because if the story creators are heartless assholes, they will just let Zero die, and they won't have to put all the effort into making an entire story around the 13th. But what I would love is that they just make like a side path that we can restore the 13th, but also with like crafters, gatherers, a bit like we did for the firmament.
Sure.
So like that way, and that they still are in the game, so that they don't die, but they're still there, and we can still do something there. It's like,
I have some ideas where they could go with this. Like I have a couple ideas where they could go with this. Like if I was a developer at Square Enix and I didn't know what to do with Zero and 7.0 because that's like a separate team or whatever, I'd buy like just make her Tataru's bodyguard or something. That would work. It's part of the endeavor. That's one option. Also, the whole 13th restoration, since like all of the light that was sucked out of the 13th basically went to the first, and that's why it's dark. Pretty sure that's one of the sort of
that's why the light is, why we're the warrior of dark in Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
Right?
So why not like use the same thing that we did with Eden, was like cleanse the first of, just cleanse the empty basically. Why don't we do the same with the 13th with a raid cycle? I think that could be a way they would go. Like if I were like, I need some raids for 7.0, we haven't really built up some big bads yet. Well, maybe just fix the 13th with a 12 raid bosses.
I doubt they're just gonna give up. Like they're not gonna just detonate the 13 and say that it no longer exists. I don't think they're gonna do that. So that
there's options. I don't know what they're gonna do.
From a lore perspective, I'm not sure what happens if we would just blow up the 13th. But I think we're like I think we're gonna be done, and then maybe there's gonna be some sort of cleanup thing going on. Maybe they do something like you say. We kind of like return parts of the light, and then let the world restart. Do like a soft reboot of the 13th, but leave it to its own devices. Kind of let nature run its course.
Yeah, I do hope that they do give us some kind of conclusion there, so that I don't want it to just end really hard and it's like, we were we were working with Zero to try and help restore the 13th, but forget that now. We're focusing on Dawn Trail.
Yeah.
I don't want them to do that.
No.
There needs to be some kind of conclusion, and maybe they'll give us that in 6.5, like Bob was saying. Maybe they'll use 6.5 to really bring the 13th story arc to a proper close, and then use 6.55 to lead us into Dawn Trail. But my earlier theory was that the expansion would have at least some of the Void, and part of that would be us restoring the Void. But clearly I was wrong, and that was literally just a filler story. So it has left me just wondering how are they going to wrap all of that up, because they built up quite a lot of the backstory and made us quite invested into the 13th and Zero's background, and I don't want them to just drop all of that cold. So we'll see. I'm curious.
I need to say, Willow just said that Square Enix used to give longer trailers, so maybe they're hiding Zero. And I have to admit that this sparks a little bit hope, because I am not very sure how they did it on the previous FanFests and everything, but maybe indeed they only showed us a small part of the trailer, and the end result of the trailer is yet to come in another FanFest or whatever, I don't know, but let's hope for that, but I doubt it.
Yeah, there'll definitely be more surprises. Sorry, go on, Hennek.
Yeah. Even if Zero doesn't die or whatever they do with her, I don't think we're going to be bringing her with us. She just doesn't feel like a character that is going to be included in the main cast.
Yeah, but as long as she doesn't die, it's fine.
Yeah. If anything, she's going to stay in Rad-Satan and just be like the Rad-Satan guardian or something like that, or just eat curry for payment.
Well, I was just thinking about what Bob said, and in one of the screenshots that they shared at the FanFest, they did show a scene of Zero with Reen on the first by the Crystarium, I think it was. I think it's the thumbnail for this episode. But so clearly she goes to the first for something and meets up with Reen. So that theory of yours, Bob, could definitely have some merits, because what else is she doing there? It must have something to do with the 13th. Like, how is the first and the 13th linked? There must be some link there. Otherwise, what's she doing there? So, and that's Zeromus on the screen now. Obviously, we met him at the end of the last MSQ.
You get some hints. The reason why I mentioned it is you get some hints about this plotline if you do all of the role quests in Shadowbringers. If you then speak to that one person outside of the bar, she basically confirms this theory.
Right.
Which is
maybe if you did them and didn't skip them.
It's just time to do my job quests, because I haven't done the job quests.
I did them all. I did all the role quests in Shadowbringers, but I don't remember. Yeah.
It's free XP. It's great for leveling up.
I don't need XP. I'm already level 90 on everything.
Okay.
Sad.
So, does anyone have anything else they want to add to MSQ, or should we move on to the next topic?
I mean, this is the next topic is tied to MSQ, but
kind of. So that
okay.
So the next subject.
I wanted to say one more thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Regarding to the MSQ thing, well, please just send me loads of tissues, because I'm probably gonna cry.
Tissues.
That's why you've got Omega, Cristina. So the new dungeon we now know is called the Lunar Subterrane, and it's basically, I mean, it doesn't take much to figure it out. It's basically underneath the moon on the 13th, because from the screenshots they've showed and the environment is clearly the moon on the 13th, basically where we fought Golbears, but it's underneath. So if you remember, Golbears, his base was down in these caverns, and clearly we're going down there, I'm assuming, to confront Zeromus. So it looks like the dungeon is going to be us kind of working our way towards wherever Zeromus is hidden down there, and then that'll be obviously the new trial. But it's very 13th vibes. It's basically void moon caverns, effectively. So any thoughts or speculations on the new dungeon?
The name is bait.
You think so?
They can't go and name a dungeon the something subterrane and then just not. It's the Criterion dungeon. The first Criterion dungeon is called the Sildine Subterrane, and now they have the Lunar Subterrane, and it isn't the Criterion dungeon. That's stupid. Change the name.
They're both
Square
subterranes,
Enix.
though. Yeah.
They are both subterranean. That's true.
Yeah, but call it the underground.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't really.
A little I got a little surprised that when the first time when we saw this cave, to call it that we didn't get a dungeon there. So I also think it's gonna be in there, and it's gonna be to fight Romulus or just confront him.
Well,
and I want to kill him. I just want to kill him.
I mean, it makes me wonder who the last boss in the dungeon is going to be, because clearly it's not Xeramus, because Xeramus is the new trial. So who are we fighting in this underground cavern system? Oh, there it is. We've got the
Probably just going to
screenshot
be some henchman.
a void scent, some powerful
Yeah.
void
Maybe
scent.
maybe it's gonna
all
be
the
a
other-
goofy animal, like the dinosaur boss in the other dungeon. I
Yeah,
hope it's gonna
who's
be a goofy
who's the
animal.
final boss of the Lapis, whatever, fucking octopus? Who's that? That's a nothing character. It's not like a plot relevant character, so it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be something special.
True.
Like Mount Golg.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mount Golg is a better example where it's like actually story relevant what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do hope one thing, and that is that that might just be me, but I think that all the normal content, so I'm not talking about extreme or savage things here, but just for example the normal raids, the dungeons and all that, I thought they were very easy, the last ones that we got. Maybe that was just me, or I don't know, but
You've been getting better.
could be, but I expected something harder, you know? Everything was kind of straightforward, and I'm kind of waiting for a surprise because, well, I'm a disaster on Savage and everything. You guys know that. But I wanna fight more. I wanna have to use my brain more to see new mechanics, new things, and I kind of hope that they also will bring that into dungeons and trials because, yeah, not everyone has the balls to step into a savage or extreme content, and I just hope they make the dungeons harder instead of easier.
That's why we have
They also
Criterion.
want people, they also want
I
people
know,
to
but-
complete the dungeon, so they're never gonna make dungeons hard
Yeah,
to complete. They're
yeah.
never gonna do that.
They want the
It's
dungeons.
always gonna be
Yeah.
incredibly forgiving. You want to be able to do them with NPCs, with whatever that system is called. Like the dungeons are always just gonna be
Yeah, they want
filler
them.
stuff.
Yeah, they want them to be accessible by everyone, all the player base.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be difficult content. What would be a perfect solution, which they're not going to do, is go back to having a hard mode and a normal mode of the dungeon.
Yeah, please. Please.
And you could even let's go creative, and you could basically say if you do the hard mode, you get slightly better rewards than normal mode. So each week you could do roulette. If you do normal mode roulette, you get the normal crappy rewards. You do hard mode roulette, you get slightly better rewards. But they're not going to do it.
Give a little extra amount of tombstones or anything.
Yeah, they're not going to do it though because they've abandoned the idea of hard mode dungeons. They did it at the beginning, and then they scrapped the idea, and it's a lot of development time and resource. So I don't think they'll go back to it. I think Criterion
the
is.
system, though.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good way of doing exactly what Christina's talking about there, because then you've got
Add in
something for
dungeons
both
that
people.
have actual mechanics in it, and maybe like we have talked about this a million times with the whole Criterion stuff, but like do like an in between thing where with like it feels like more like a normal dungeon, but you have to actually progress through it. It's harder. The bosses are more challenging. So maybe there's stuff you have to do in between the bosses to progress. Maybe you have to, I don't know, solve a puzzle or something. Like, I don't know, something that isn't just 2 packs on a boss, or 2 packs on a wall, then 2 packs on a boss, then
so
2 packs on a
boring.
wall, then 2 packs on a boss. It's, please,
Formulaic,
just change it up a little bit.
Extremely
a little bit.
formulaic.
Yeah, they could have like little mini games in there, right, to give it some variety. And I agree. It is.
Bardom's Metal. That's still the best example of what.
Bottom's Metal is a
completely different one.
fantastic dungeon, All of a sudden there's rolling boulders and you gotta dodge. And there's a dancing boss, and it's like.
I feel like the earlier dungeons were more creative. I thought if you think back to a lot of the Realm Reborn dungeons, they had some really interesting. Like some of them were a maze, and you had to know where to go and pull certain levers in a certain order. They did a lot more of that stuff back in the day. Now it's literally just run through.
And all of those dungeons they have now streamlined to not be that because they don't want it to be.
True.
They want it to be doable solo. That's the
but there used to be more. For example, the Shadowbringer, Stormblood and Shadowbringer dungeons. Those were simple dungeons, but they were. I mean, the area was bigger. You you found some things that you could read. You could do some sightseeing while you were running towards the next boss or whatever. You had way more. There was way more in those dungeons to look at, because for now you start running, you pull first pack, okay, you pull the second pack. Oh, there's a boss, and then you just do the same. You don't need to look around except for until the first boss maybe, because after the first boss, everything kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
I actually remember how I used to think about this before I played MMOs, and I heard my friends talking about trash pulls, and I was like, that's so sad. You call them trash pulls.
It's just trash. It just takes away.
It's so sad.
I know, it takes away the challenge and the excitement. I agree.
Yeah.
But this is why. Yeah, sorry, go on, Hennek.
Yeah, no, we were talking a bit about Guild Wars in the voice chat a few days ago, and Guild Wars Dungeons it's obviously a completely different game. It's built different than 14 is, so you can't just like rip systems from it. But I remember back in Guild Wars 2, there was one dungeon where you get into a room and there's this, it's like a huge amount of enemies. There's massive amounts of enemies. There's no way you're gonna tackle these enemies, and if you fight one of them, they're gonna aggro all the others, or they're gonna like alert the others. So what my group did was, I was playing this specific class that's like illusion magic based. I just went and made our whole team invisible so we could run past it. Another one where I was playing a different spec on it, where I could like teleport my way through, open a portal, teleport my way back, open another portal so the whole group could run through it. Like, you could solve problems in like creative ways like this. 14 doesn't have any room to do that because it's not built to do that. So, but like something along those lines, give you some kind of variation, some kind of options.
I mean, that reminds me a bit of, I don't know if you guys did like Baldessian Arsenal and Lubin Regine. Those dungeons, they're linked to the adventure zones like Eureka and Bosja. But those two dungeons did have that kind of play style where, as a team, you had to really coordinate and plan and be, okay, this group's going to go and sort out those levers over there, this group's going to go and take care of those mobs, and you had to have a bit of a strategy plan. So those dungeons were good. The problem with them was that A, you needed loads of people to do them, B, you had to do all the prerequisite stuff that a lot of people didn't do. So it was just hard to access that content, but when I did it, it was really fun because it was very similar to what you're talking about there.
There's a few of us that are probably going to be going through Eureka very soon. So if
man,
you're interested in doing it, just hit me up.
Highly recommend it. Like, Baldessian Arsenal is a fantastic dungeon. I know technically it's an alliance raid, I guess, but it's very, very good fun. So definitely, I think if you guys get a chance to do it, and you get a cool mount at the end of it.
Exactly. I know there's a lot of people who want to do it. So a small tangent, but hit me up if you want to do Eureka. That's going to be one of my events in the future. Just so you know, it's going to be like a Eureka leveling. Get as many people up to BA as possible, and then we'll do BA as a big FC event.
Sounds good.
So we need as many people as possible ready to do it.
Indeed, no, it sounds like good fun.
6-month plan here,
We're gonna move on from the
time until the expansion.
We're gonna move on from the dungeon topic. The last comment I was gonna make on this was, I think it was Nero from the chat said that based on Final Fantasy IV, there are quite a few boss options that they could use in that last dungeon. So we still have more Final Fantasy IV bosses to explore, so they'll probably do more of that, I imagine. Cool. The next topic we've kind of touched on already. I don't know if there's much more for us to talk about on this, but it's just we're going to get a new trial with 6.5 and of course an extreme trial. It's called the Abyssal Fracture. It's going to be Zero Miss. Effectively, it's the last trial of Endwalker. I don't know if anyone's got any thoughts or any comments on this one before we move on.
I want to kill Golbus Extreme first, and then I want to kill this Zeromus. I hate him. I need to kill him now.
Just judging from the little bit of the cutscene where Zeromus like appears, it looks like it's going to be another huge platform, and the boss is like over on one end.
Boss.
Yeah. I hope it isn't. But then again, for this tier, it's only been Zodiark and. So far, all the other ones have been actually small bosses, so maybe it's fine. I just prefer the bosses in the middle, can actually
more movement
around.
Yeah.
I prefer those. So I hope
makes sense.
I hope we'll see Zeromus in like kind of like maybe first this big explodey cloud specter thing, and then as power builds up or something,
Another
they
phase.
assume like
yeah.
a form. Yeah, exactly. If the phase transition is like hardening the energy to like a Frieza power up, he goes from very tiny to super big to super tiny, slim, fit again. I hope we get that, like a hyper mode Ceromus fight.
I just hope Azdaia doesn't have to like disappear at the end of the whole thing. You know, it's kind of sad. We finally find a second dragon that has survived out here. Wasn't the he's not the last of the dragons that fled the basically Metean and landed on the source.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of sad if Azdaia dies, but
I'd be
I can
very
actually see
surprised.
them like doing things with the fight where they maybe we fight both the dragons somehow.
Well, sorry, if that happens, that he will die. Let's make a deal. If I get to cry during the main story, you give me tissues, and if that certain thing happens with Azdaia, I will send you tissues.
You should you should start a fundraiser for your tissues.
Oh, definitely. Also, just
but you must capture your tears and sell them as like stretch
hey,
goal
that's an idea
rewards.
because people sell weird stuff. So if you want to buy my tears from the main scenario, just send me a message on Discord. I'll make a friend price if you're a member of Aliths.
6.55 tier jar, only $69.99.
But yeah,
Maybe.
I think that's a good observation, Hennek, about the format of the fights. I think you're probably right. It's probably going to be another static wall boss, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I needed to agree on one more thing that Willow said. Willow said that they are very curious for the music of the trial. And I have to admit that I'm curious for the music of the boss fights, but also for the trial, because I love I haven't played all the previous Final Fantasy games, but on the last 2 or 3 dungeons that they added, I really loved the music, and I was really vibing on it while I was playing and dying. So I'm also curious about the music. Will they start with an entire new theme, entire new boss fight music, or will they keep it in the same...
Be more Final
direction?
Fantasy IV
I'm
themed
curious.
music, right? Surely they're going to keep with the Final Fantasy
add in
IV.
some 8-bit, like, or 16-bit, like,
Yeah,
sound
let's
bites
go.
in there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be so hype.
16-bit tacos, let's go.
That would be so hype.
Because haven't
That'd be
they
amazing.
haven't they used? I know that they used it in the dungeon last boss fight. They used the Final Fantasy IV battle music. I don't know if they used it in the trials though. I can't remember. But they
The one that
been...
goes...
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Final Fantasy IV battle music. I know they use it in the last boss in the
I got so
the
happy
last
when I
new
heard
dungeon.
it.
Yeah.
Every time,
pretty
and
cool.
I'm sitting here and I'm like hyper focused on my healing, and then I'm just la 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 la, and then some shit happens because I get distracted, but it's fine. It's fine. I just laugh it off and it's fine. So yeah.
So let's move on to the next topic, which is the Unreal Trial. So we're getting another Unreal Trial. I'm glad that they've kept this around for a long time because I've been a fan of the Unreal Trials. It's nice to be able to go back and do old trial fights, but with a bit more of a challenge and get nice rewards from it. So for me, it's been a nice addition since they've been doing them. I've done basically all of them. And the next one is Thordan, which I think everyone was quite surprised to see. I remember when we got the last one, the one we've got currently, Zervan. I remember everyone saying, "Oh, everyone's gonna get stuck on Saw, skip Saw, kick, and all this stuff." And Saw is fine. Like Saw wasn't even that bad in the Unreal Trial. I think most people did it fine. You can't really skip Saw, as far as I could tell from all the party finder runs I did. Can you? How do you skip it?
Yeah, you can.
I've never once seen it skipped.
It's a DPS check. DPS check. You have to reach a certain percentage threshold before a certain mechanic happens in the fight, then you skip it.
That's mad, because I've done it at least 20, 30 times now, and I've not once seen a party finder grip anyway. Skip that whole Saw mechanic. Because you do Saw a couple of times as well. You do it two times. Maybe. Yeah, but I think you do it again later in the fight. I don't know, but... I enjoyed it. It was in a good level of difficulty. I make a lot of money from Unreal Trials because I get all the minions and mounts and sell them. It's a really good way of making money in the game. If you don't care about minions and mounts, you can make a lot of money from Unreal Trials.
Well, we are no longer friends, man.
I've
Not
made.
that you don't already have
I'm
them.
stepping
but,
down as an officer. The FC leader doesn't give a shit about minions. I'm stepping down.
I've made
Officer
over 50
VK
million
up.
gil just doing Unreal Trials, man. It's good
You
money.
should just
man.
be crafting, man.
Well, because
I'm
the thing
looking
is,
so
forward
much more
to,
work.
sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when we go further and we're gonna start stepping into the Stormblood Unreals.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, because we're doing the Heavensward stuff now, so yeah,
exactly.
I imagine
This should be the last Heavensward.
Yeah,
last Heavensward boss, right?
Yeah, but basically what I do is those minions and mounts sell for between 4 million to 6 to 7 million each, and if you know how to play the 4 hollows like optimally, you do your 2 Unreal Trial runs a week, you can have a mount or a minion within 3 to 4 weeks. So you're making 6 to 7 million every 3 or 4 weeks. You can do that with Unreal Trials. That's what I've been doing. I've made over 50 million doing it that way. So I don't think a lot of people have realized how much money you can make just doing your 2 Unreal Trials a week.
Yeah.
Just whenever you're gonna do that, take me with you. Because 1, I want to have all those minions and mounts. 2, I want to practice my skills.
You got to learn it first. You got to. We can take you, but you've got to learn it. You can't.
That's super easy. Yeah.
But just teach me.
Yeah. It's not difficult.
I'm not gonna watch a video guide. I'm not gonna do that. Just.
This is hard content, Cristina. This is very
I
hard.
don't care. The hardest content of that specific hard content is teach me how to do the hard content.
Yeah, that's like a beefed up extreme, right? It's like a beefed up extreme at item level.
I don't know. I think Unreal Trials are slightly less difficult than Extreme Trials, from my experience.
Oh, the Unreal Trial is the Extreme Trial on minimum item level, but you are level 90. They should, in theory, they should be as difficult as the fight was when it was released on minimum item level.
Except for Thornton, because that one was too hard.
If anyone has the balls,
Thornton, the one that's coming out.
Oh yeah, Thornton's.
They're gonna make that one easier. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just want someone to teach me. I'll give you half of my money that I earned from it. I don't care about money. I just wanna teach
That's
it.
Omega's money. I won't touch that.
For fuck's sake, we're married, but his is mine.
But
the money you make should go back to him.
If it makes me happy, he's fine with it. I swear, right, Omega?
But Thornton, Unreal, I can't remember the Thornton fight, so I don't have an opinion on what it's going to be like. I literally can't remember the fight from Heavensward.
Long ass ad face with tight DPS checks.
Okay, I mean, it looks cool, so I'm looking forward to doing it. I'll keep doing them, I'll keep making money from it, but I can't actually remember the fights. But I loved Heavensward as an expansion, so I'm sure I'll enjoy the fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the final big piece, we'll come into the smaller bits in a minute, but the final big piece is we're getting the 3rd Alliance raid, which I don't know why, I just stopped thinking about the Alliance raids for a good couple of months. But for me, we'll talk about like what we think of from the screenshots and stuff that we've seen. But the thing I'm most excited about, and this might be sad, is that we're going to get our 3 coins and get our raid upgrade materials again. That's the thing I'm most excited about.
Upgrade.
So that we could get I'm just so excited about getting the upgrade. I swear they should do something where when we've only got 2 Alliance raids, like maybe you get 2 coins and you can get an upgrade material, and then when they introduce the 3rd Alliance raid, then you have to get 3 coins to get an upgrade material. But it just seems a shame that there comes a point where people stop doing the Alliance raids because they don't need to do them anymore, and then they only start doing them again when the 3rd one comes out because they want to get the coins to get the upgrade materials. What's everyone else's thoughts?
Sure.
Well, you are unbelievable. You know what I'm excited about for the Alliance raid? I am excited that the day that we can do the Alliance raid, that we will do it as an entire FC, just like we did previous time. I want to grab the entire FC and just go all FC in there, just laugh, fuck around, have a nice chat in voice chat, just screw each other over with rescues and whatever. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious how the area looks and how the bosses look and how the music is. I don't care about the freaking coins. I mean, but yeah, Bell, you're unbelievable. I swear.
I am looking forward to the actual dungeon as well.
I joined That was one of the first things I did when I joined the FC. Was we did the full 24-man run. I think I'd been in here for like 3 days, and then it was like, oh, new alliance raid, let's go, everybody in, and then all of a sudden it was 24 people in voice chat. It was great.
Yeah. No, I'm being facetious about the coin. I am excited about the coins, but I also really enjoy the story of the current alliance raids. I love the fact that they went back to FF14 lore, because obviously the previous alliance raids we were doing spin-offs of Final Fantasy XII and Nier. So this alliance raid has been my favorite series so far, because we've really been exploring the 13. I think it's 13 of them deities of Eorzea, and I've been enjoying the story, and I'm excited to see who we're going to be facing in the final alliance raid. Interesting to see how the story is going to finish up. So yeah, I like the content as well. I love the fights, and I'll enjoy it as well. But I'm also going to enjoy getting my upgrade materials.
Yeah, you should already know what the 4 are, right?
Just a question, Belle.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't give you an upgrade material, would you still do it?
Yeah, we'd still do it. Yeah, because it's good content, it's fun, and there's other stuff you can get from it. You can get skins, you can get triple tricard, I'm sure, and other things.
Are you sure about that?
Why not?
What if it didn't give any loot at all?
I'd do it. If it didn't give any loot, I would do it a couple of times, and then once I've cleared it, I probably wouldn't keep doing it. There's got to be some kind of reward for me to keep doing content over and over.
I'm gonna grab you in
way too much
the first
content
time.
in this game to do content that doesn't actually give you
I'm
anything.
gonna grab Belle
Agreed.
in there the first time, and we're gonna make him pass on all the loot, just to prove that he doesn't care only about loot.
I don't care only about loot. I enjoy the content itself as well.
I know, but loot is your number one priority, Belle. Come on.
No, I'm saying to keep repeating it like many times. Yeah, there needs to be some kind of reward incentive for me to keep going back. Initially, when it's new, I enjoy it like the rest of you guys, and I'll do it a few times and enjoy it. But there'll come a point where if I don't need anything from it, I'm not going to keep, like Hennek says, like the amount of time I have to play is limited. So am I going to spend all my time doing content that I get nothing from when there's other content that I could progress my character with? So
that's right. You're a very hardworking man and all that. So yeah, I understand. I understand.
I love the alliance raids. I'm looking forward to the new one. I'm going to enjoy doing it and enjoy the story for sure. And I'll enjoy getting my upgrade materials. But no, I'm excited to see how they wrap up the whole alliance raid story.
That's what I'm looking forward to, because there's like Naren actually in the chat also says there's 3 more plus Fusoya, which is the Watcher on the Moon, right? That's the one of the theories for the unnamed god, the 13th one. But I actually also think it's the whole Manderville connection. You mean? Yeah, I think that's also quite interesting. Because for those who've done the Manderville quests, you basically discover they're Superman, pretty much. He's Superman, so okay, whatever. But then at the end, they also say something, but that doesn't make sense, blah, 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 point, and then it kind of trails off. So I'm still of the opinion that he is basically Buyer God. So I don't know, maybe he's like a trickster god, just having some fun.
Would be so cool.
The music has been...
There has to be some weird connection between the 12 and Manderville. I don't see any reason why not. So.
Yeah, the music has been fantastic in the alliance raids, as somebody said in the chat. The music has been on point, so that's going to be good. I've got a theory that the chap who first introduced us to the alliance raid story. I forgot what his name is. The Wanderer with the little monkey. I think he's the final deity, and I think because he's the one who's led us there to go through all these trials. Why? So I just feel like
scholar or something, isn't he? It's like, oh yay!
I know he's just suspicious to me. I feel like
I don't want to fight him.
More involved than we think.
He's nice.
We'll
I don't want to fight him.
The gods have so far all been lying to you just to have some fun.
Exactly,
and then after that, they tell you the truth. So I'm thinking that's going to continue.
Well, isn't the whole point of it is that they're testing us to see if we've surpassed the point of needing to believe in deities? From what I understood from the story, like for a long time, the people of Eorzea worshipped these beings as gods, and these beings are basically Ascians, weren't they? They were Ascians. They were Ascians originally, not Ascians, Ancients, whatever you want to call them. But now they're testing us to see if we've surpassed believing in mythology, and that's why we're going through all these trials, and because they want to see how far we've come as people. So that was my understanding, is that they've originated from the Ascians or the Ancients, and this is just a test to see if we're no longer intellectually.
Can we go home now? Thank you very much.
Yeah, basically.
We're done here.
Basically,
So
basically.
bored.
Exactly, yeah, it's basically that. So we'll see.
That'd be a pretty funny ending.
Yeah. So, let's go into some of the smaller changes that they announced for 6.5. What I'll do, guys, is I'll just rattle through all of them now, and then I'll open up the floor so you guys can then dive into any of the ones that you think are interesting. So, obviously, they did mention we're going to get some more job tweaks and adjustments. We don't know what those are. There's going to be a new crystalline conflict map, which is desert themed, which is called the Red Sands. Loads of Island Sanctuary updates coming with 6.5, including some new play modes. There's something called is it Felicitous Favors, which are like individual handicraft requests that you can do, and also some new special tokens that you can get from doing those handicrafts that you can then trade for exclusive rewards. So lots more Island Sanctuary stuff. We've got the Fall Guys crossover for Gold Saucer. We'll come to it in a minute. We've got another custom deliveries NPC called Margaret. We've got some quality of life improvements, like the ability to store optional items in your armoire. We've got the fact that you can now sort your teleport destinations by expansion rather than how it is now. And finally, they've introduced the mount for getting all the trial mounts, and you get this dragon that basically carries you in a chair. So those are all the smaller stuff that they revealed. So what's getting you guys excited amongst all of that?
Fall Guys!
Yeah, definitely.
I love Fall Guys. And I remember when it came out, I laughed so much. I was a very, very, very grumpy person. But like, very grumpy. I was this bitchy, annoying, grumpy woman who did nothing except play Call of Duty Infinite Warfare from the morning till the night. And I never laughed. I was always angry and screaming, and I'm still screaming a lot, but I'm less angry. And yeah, I started playing Fall Guys, and man, I almost pissed my pants because of it. So yeah, when they announced that they would do a crossover event both in Fall Guys, where you can get skins from Final Fantasy, but also that Fall Guys is gonna come to the Gold Saucer, I was like, yeah!
I've never played Fall Guys, but everyone I've spoken to tells me it's good fun. And I saw the video footage of the game, and I saw the video footage of how it's going to look in FF14 in Gold Saucer. It looks like it's basically a gauntlet game where you have to make it from A to B without getting knocked off by various obstacles. That's what it looks.
There's one thing that I wonder, because if I remember correctly, in Fall Guys you can also just grab anyone and just scoot them to another direction.
The grab and dive mechanic is hilarious.
You can literally hunk other people towards the thing that yeets them off. And I'm just curious if they will implement it as well in the Gold Saucer, because that would kind of mean that we will have a little bit PvP mode in the Gold Saucer, because you can kill your friends or your enemies.
They could add like a special. They could add like a special action on your hotbar, and when you press it, anyone who's right next to you gets like yeeted away, because they could do something like that, which would be funny. But a lot of people have said we need to do an FC event in the Gold Saucer.
But I
don't know if it'll. We don't know if it'll let us yet, or whether it's going to be like the current games where
probably.
Yeah, like what's it called? The one where you have to climb up there.
The jumping.
You can probably sign up as a party if party leader signs in. You should be able to do that.
Yeah, Leap of Fate, that's the one. Yeah,
Leap of Fate.
You can go in as if you go in as like two separate parties and both queue up at the same time, you're probably going to end up in the same space. But as long as you're in one group of 8, then at least those 8 are going to go in there together. But yeah.
Did anyone ever try to queue up as an alliance for Leap of Fate?
No, actually. No.
Can you do that?
You can make parties.
I don't think so.
You can make parties, but I'm not sure if you are on an alliance, if you don't can.
I thought you had to go in those.
It needs to be a party finder, yeah.
I thought you had to go into those solo. You go and speak to the little NPC in Gold Saucer, and he sends you in.
Yeah, you can
can
go
you
in a
Queue in as
party.
a party.
Party lead can do it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, up to one full alliance can queue in at the same time at least.
Okay.
See, then we might be able to do the. Oh no, only one full alliance.
Yeah, like 8 people.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to research that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the way that you
It
get
is happening.
parties to get into alliance, like 24-man content together, is you go. I think you make like a cross-world party,
Yeah,
or like some kind of
Right.
party finder thing, and then you merge all of them together, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
that's
So
the
you're
only
not
way to do
technically
it,
in
and I
a
don't
big
think
party.
that content is in that part of that system, so I doubt
No,
it.
no.
Yeah.
Would be nice if they added something like this. Would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look like a lot of fun, even though I haven't played it. Just looking at it, it looks like fun. I can see it working brilliantly in Gold Saucer. I'll definitely do it because I like farming my MGP. So it looks like good fun.
All about the
It's gonna
loot.
be it's gonna be silly, stupid fun though for sure.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
definitely-
It's nice to break. I like the Gold Saucer games because it does break things up, and you get a bit when things get a bit grindy, and you just want to do something a bit fun and get some MGP. They are good.
There is one thing that I need to sell. I mentioned it this morning during my level up event, or was it later? I don't remember. I mentioned it today in a voice chat towards some people. But at this moment, if you go to the Gold Saucer, there is this gate called Anyway the Wind Blows. And it got so boring because now when I started playing Final Fantasy, which was 3 years ago, if you did Anyway the Wind Blows, you could actually see people try, and you could actually see people fuck it up and start laughing at them because they got heated off, and then you got heated off because you were laughing too hard. But now when you're doing it, it starts and everybody is at the exact same spots, and they just stand there. They don't do anything. It's like they found the safe spot, but everybody is using the safe spot, so people aren't thinking anymore. People aren't falling off anymore. So it's boring, and I want them to upgrade that as well.
Yeah.
In normal people terms, that's called learning.
It's not
You
learning.
have tried it, you died, so you learn how to do it to not die.
But it feels
It's boring to learn?
It feels like cheating.
It's cheating to learn. Okay, I see.
No, it's not cheating to learn. It just feels like cheating, and you don't see people fall off anymore, so it's not funny anymore. It's boring.
I'm gonna let's move on. Let's move on. I'm gonna give you guys my take on the Island Sanctuary stuff because I'm assuming I'm the only one here who plays Island Sanctuary.
Oh, I actually started it.
Oh,
I'm
you
ranked
started?
14. I hit it today.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I'm
hit
proud of you.
14 today.
Okay.
Nice.
Everyone is like taking the mick out of me for doing Island Sanctuary, but I have actually reached a point with Island Sanctuary now where I'm not going in there anymore because I've got everything and I've done everything and I've got all this stuff. So I'm at the point now where I'm kind of burnt out on Island Sanctuary. I haven't been in my island for a while, so I'm glad they're adding in some new modes, because even if they add more animals and more plants, I think I'm starting to get a bit bored with the same routines. So the specific new things they're saying they're adding is felicitous favors, and from what I'm understanding from the little detail they shared was that you're going to get individual handicraft requests. So I guess they're a bit like the custom delivery sort of deal, where you get specific requests to do, and if you get those crafts completed, you get these called yields. I'm not sure what they're called, but they're special tokens that you can then trade for exclusive rewards. So curious to know what those exclusive rewards are, because the rewards have been pretty good anyway up until now. Like all the mounts and minions and things you can get are pretty cool. So are these rewards going to be any different or better or worse? But if it's a different activity that I can do each day outside of the normal stuff that we've been doing, I'd welcome that.
Sounds like they are building it up to be like whatever that place is called, where you go in Foundation, you go to this place and then you go into this
the firmament.
Diadem.
What's Diadem? Yeah. You go like you do the gathering in Diadem, and then you come out and then you craft with that crap, and then you hand in the crafted crap to some special vendors that are only available there. And it's probably going to be same stuff here, where you use the materials you get from the island, you craft it, you turn it in on the island, and you'll get some kind of stuff from there. So that's pretty good. I like that.
Because I've amassed, like, I'm not joking, over 500,000 of those calories. I've got nothing to spend them on because I've got all the mountain minions and stuff that all the rewards you can get at the moment, and I've been doing these weekly crafts and stuff, and I've just been like farming these calories. I've got nothing to spend them on, so I'm hoping that these these new handicraft requests are gonna need you to get like buy lots of materials to make them that I can spend my calories on, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just need the. I need to get back into it because I still need to finish my Michael Jackson Speed Demon Glam. I need the bike for that one.
Honestly, the mounts and the minions from Island Sanctuary are some of the best in the game. Like that. That's the main reason I've done it, is because I like completing stuff anyway. But the rewards are really good, man. Like, and the glams are really good as well. If you like glams, they got loads of like beachwear for you guys that love RPing outside the FC house. Tons of beachwear glams that you can get.
I'm not RPing, but I love the glams. But I haven't touched the Island Sanctuary because I've been busy with other stuff, and it's kind of complicated for me. But
I enjoyed Island Sanctuary, but I am bored with it now because I've done everything and I've got nothing to spend calories on, so I've got no reason to keep going in there. So we needed a new mode or gameplay mode in there, so I'm glad that they're bringing that in.
For sure.
I kind of think that they also made the rewards exclusive to prevent you from just being able to walk in there and spend all your cash at once and get everything and then leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've liked about Island Sanctuary, is that everything in there you can only get with currency from Island Sanctuary. So it forces you to do the content to get the rewards.
Exactly.
So you can, for example, if Bell spends his Island Sanctuary currency on glamours, he cannot trade it, sell it.
They're not tradable. Most of them are not tradable. No.
And also market prohibited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is
can't sell them.
That is how I think they should do content like this.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Eureka, like Island Sanctuary, all this
personal thing
kind of stuff. It is like the achievement of getting this cool reward, this cool bike, this cool glamour, whatever it is. Like anytime you see somebody riding across there, you're gonna be like, "Oh man, I really want to do that content." Also,
it would be cool. I agree with all of that, Hennek. But it would be cool if there was maybe one or two items that you could sell. And the only reason I say that is because if you're somebody like me who has all the Island Sanctuary stuff now, why would I keep farming calories? If I have a way to make some gil from it, then I'll keep doing it. So it'd be nice if there was maybe one or two items that you could sell, and they were like really expensive to get with calories, just to keep me going back in there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. So any of those smaller changes, guys, is there anything else that you guys are excited about? So we've got things like the teleport lists being reorganized, the new mount from the trials.
Nice. I can never remember which zones are where, mostly because I skipped a lot of it. So but that's a really good one. I like the optional items in the armor, all that kind of stuff. Like just let me put stuff in armor, please. All the job gear should be in the armor.
No, not all job gear.
Yeah, why not? But the big one is the mounts, of course, like the extreme trial mounts.
It's so cute.
I just need to get the Rubicante one. That's the only one I need right now. Otherwise, I am all set for just getting the last mount, get the dragon, and then cruise. It's gonna be
you like that dragon? That mount?
I don't give a shit. It's a cool dragon. I'm gonna have it week one. I'm gonna have it week one. Week one flex dragon. Yeah.
You want it for
I
the
like
flex.
it. It's a fun mount. It's a
I
fun
want to
mount.
have
The other
it.
ones,
It's cute.
Yeah, it's like we've had the Kirin. It's kind of ugly. I don't like it. The bird from Heavensward. It's like fine.
It's okay.
The big wolf. It's kind of ugly. Don't really like it. We have the Landowaffe. It's fucking insane. I love it. It's great. And then this one is just, it's a greedy dragon chair thing. It's great.
I love this. I have a Spriggan mount from the Mog Station, but it basically carries you as well in a small basket. And it's so cute because you're just sitting there very chill and you can do certain emotes like swipe on your tombstone and whatever.
Yeah.
And I also like the dragon mount because it's a dragon is like fierce and big and strong. And I'm just imagining like you have a big, fierce, strong dragon in the air, and suddenly you see that it's holding a chair with a small Lalafell. I mean, come on, that's amazing.
It just seems dopey to me, and I'm not excited
about
it.
It's really dopey. It is really dopey. The dragon itself looks kind of stupid, but I just love the fact that he's just carrying you around. His legs are just kind of dangling beneath him when he flies. It's
I'd
awesome.
get it for flex, but I'm not sure that I'd use it as my main mount.
Actually use it? No.
It goes into Mount Roulette for sure.
So I'm conscious of time, guys. I do want us to touch on 6.51 and 6.55 because there's some beefy stuff in there. So let's talk about 6.51, which is actually coming out late October. So think about it like this. We're getting 6.5 early October and then 6.51 late October. So it's within the same month. And with 6.51, Hennek, over to you.
We're getting the big one.
We're getting Criterion 3.
Final variant.
Variant Criterion,
another variant and Criterion dungeon. So soon.
Yeah, it's really soon. Really soon. The last one was in 6.1, I think. And then nothing until 6.4, and now immediately next patch. It's ooh boy.
Well, I remember them saying a while ago that they were planning on doing 3 variant and Criterions within the 6.x series. But then I noticed, okay, we had the first one, and then it took ages before we got the second, and I thought, okay, I guess they're not going to give us 3 after all. And then literally they just pulled the third one out the bag.
Boom.
Yeah. I think I understand why they do this. Like you push out the first one, everybody hates it. You just cancel the other 2. But you push out the first one, people like it, you start working on the second one. Right? So they only started the other ones after the first one was acceptable in the community.
The first one was
definitely a test.
Just to see what people thought.
Yeah.
Well,
and otherwise they would have done something else, right?
I'll tell you why I'm not mad. Is because we actually have literally a year before Dawn Trail comes out. So what am I gonna be doing for the next year? Well, the good news is that I've got to finish the raids, the current raid series, and then I've got 2 Criterions to get through and clear. So that's good. That keeps me busy.
You can teach me everything.
Exactly.
That's what your job is now.
So I'm happy that
I think it's perfect. I hope they haven't said anything about it, but I hope that they will do some kind of like, you got all the extreme trial mounts. Here you go. Here's the cool extreme trial mounts. What if?
I know what you're gonna say.
A Criterion. Like once you have all 3 Criterion mounts, maybe you get a super Criterion mount. Ooh, they're gonna do that?
Wasn't there a theory Wasn't there a theory that they were gonna take the hidden bosses from all 3?
Oh yeah, that's my theory.
That was your theory, right? That they'll take the hidden boss from all 3.
I hope so. The 3 secret bosses. The secret boss from 1, 2, and now the third one that's coming down. I'm just assuming it's also going to have a secret boss, and they'll make like a super Criterion with just 3 secret bosses in. Yeah. That would be sick, because the secret boss in both the first and second one are the best fights. Like they are by far and away the coolest fights in the variant environment. So the fact that we don't get to fight them on like full power is kind of missed opportunity. So I hope they bring him back in like another closed environment like the Criterion.
Yeah. So we need to talk about the elephant in the room, because Richard has brought it up in the chat. I was going to bring it up anyway.
Yep.
But they've got to do something with this third Criterion with the reward system. And like, I'm open-minded to what they do, but they've got to do something. Like in an ideal world, they would find a way to link it to the raid progression system, where perhaps you can get an upgrade material. That would be really nice. Like maybe
that is the maybe. Like if any place they would do that, it would be for this one, for the last one. You're gonna get the Alliance raid anyway, so you wouldn't be forced to do it. It would be a nice environment to test it out, and it would give someone an optional, maybe limited still. You can only still get 1 per week, maybe. So you can't get 1 from Alliance, 1 from Criterion, but you can choose something.
It would be nice, because that way it would be easier to find people to go into those things. That's the only thing why I want more rewards.
Even if they said you had to clear all 3 Criterions, so you'd get a coin from each Criterion, and when you get those 3 coins, you can trade them all for 1 upgrade material each week, I'd be fine with that. I'd be okay with that.
Oh yeah, perfect.
I'll do 3 Criterions a week. It's just like basically it would work like the Alliance raid works, right? You get your coin and you trade it in for an upgrade piece. I'd be happy with that.
All the re-clear parties for raids would be Tuesday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday would be Criterion.
It would be Criterion, right? It would work perfectly.
Man, how many Criterion parties would there be?
It would work great. And if they're not going to do that, if they're not going to link Criterion with the raids, fine. But they still need to do something like that, where there's other rewards that you can get from Criterion, whether you get it through the currency, whether you get it from drops. But there needs to be more than goddamn materia and floating chairs, man. It just
Glamour, glamour and titled. Add glamour and titled, and then we'd be fine. We have the rare mount. That's the big one. Between that and you buy the Framer's kit. There's nothing to buy, and then there's the mount for like 25 kills.
Yeah.
But in between that, like, what if I drop the mount on my second kill, and then I would never go back again?
If it's gonna be glamour, it needs to be badass. It needs to be badass glamour, right? That you'd want to wear. That you'd want to wear when you go raiding and stuff, right? Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate weapons. Like if you see someone with the ultimate weapon, you're like, holy shit, that guy's a cool guy. And then you see someone coming in here with the Criterion, the fucking Alola thing. I don't know what it is, but like, like
Criterion tutu. Yeah,
exactly. The same with when we said with the Island Sanctuary, you see somebody riding past you on that cool bike, you're like, should do Island Sanctuary.
Exactly. That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Sells itself.
You would just naturally drag people into the content.
I think I said it before, but Criterion content is brilliant because it gives people who want to try harder content, but with a smaller group of friends, it gives you the chance to do that. So if you're intimidated by 8 people raids, or you haven't got the time or the coordination to get 8 people together to do raids, you can just get 3 friends together and go and do Criterion. I think it fills a really, really important spot in it, and even other MMOs do it. I think in World of Warcraft they have things called Mythic Dungeons or something like that, where it's the same kind of principle. I think you need to have small-scale, challenging content for players who just don't have the time or it's just too intimidating or daunting to get into 8-man raiding. The problem is there needs to be an incentive to keep going back in. If you do a one-off reward, like you get your flying chair mount, and then there's no other reason to go back in there, the content will die because people won't do it anymore. To find people to do the content with, there needs to be enough people doing it regularly, and the only way that's going to happen is if there's some kind of reward for repeat running, and at the moment there isn't. So we need to all pray to the Yoshi P gods for the 3rd Criterion dungeon. So it's called Allo Allo, like the British TV sitcom.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
I will only run this once.
And it's like island themed from what I could tell. It's difficult. They only showed a couple of screenshots, but it's got like an island, Hawaiian style vibe. And I guess it's kind of tying into Dawn Trail. Although I'm pretty sure it's not going to be. It's not going to be over in Tural. It'll be. Well, maybe it will. I don't know.
The Island Sanctuary, man. We're going back to Island Sanctuary, but the monsters are loose.
I hope that they will.
Your monster pen.
I hope that they will create a glamour that you can obtain with coconuts as a bikini, because it's very Hawaii-ish, and I really want to have coconut tits. Okay, give me the coconuts. Give me the coconuts.
So
if we don't get to fight Alola and Executor, I will be disappointed. Long neck.
So that's 6.51, which is late October, which is not far away. That's literally a couple of months from now. We'll be getting that 3rd variant in Criterion. They also said that we're getting the next Splendorous Tools upgrade with that patch as well. So I'm assuming that'll be the last stage. Then maybe the last stage. I feel like it'll be the last stage of the Splendorous Tools. So for the crafters and gatherers, you'll be able to get your shiny tools late October as well. And then 6.55 comes out in January. So what are we getting with this? We're getting. So I don't know if you guys played back then, but with the tribal quest or beast tribes, I think during Heaven's Ward and Stormblood, once you'd maxed out your reputation with all the tribes, you'd unlock a final quest line, and that quest line would involve all the tribes. They kind of come together in this one story. And then
I really gotta do my tribes.
Cool, so you do. So basically, you max out all the tribes, and it unlocks this quest line where all the tribes come together. And you do that story, and you get a really cool reward at the end. And I think it was a mount some glam. Now they're bringing that back because apparently they didn't do it with Shadowbringers. They skipped that.
No.
So they're bringing it back for Endwalker, where we are going to get this final quest line. which is going to be in patch 6.55. There's going to be some kind of cool reward by the end of it. So basically what we're saying is the Loporrits, the Radzat hand Deliveroo guys, I forget what their names are. It's basically Deliveroo if you haven't done that quest line yet. The Hippo Deliveroo, right? Those guys and the robot dudes, what are they called? I forget names.
With the dancing robot mount.
The guys from Ultima Thule. What are they called? The little droids.
The small.
The little robot guys. I forgot what they're called, but those are the 3 tribes that we have, right? So they're all going to come together for some kind of. And I've done all the tribes. I've maxed out all my tribes already, and I've got all the rewards. So I like doing the tribal stuff. It's good fun. The stories are really good, man. Like I'd highly recommend. If you don't have time to do all of them, do the Ultima Thule one, and I'll tell you why. It's because the Ultima Thule one with the little robot guys, I keep forgetting their names, but it's almost like a bonus story to the Endwalker story.
Omicrons.
The Omicrons. There it is.
Yeah.
Omicrons.
Yeah,
Thank you, chat. Omicrons. Do
And
the Omicron tribe quest if you can only do one, because if you liked the Endwalker story, the Omicron storyline is basically like a bonus story at the end of Endwalker, and I'm not going to spoil what happens in it. But it was really interesting, and Cristina, you will cry if you do it.
I was about to say, will I need tissues?
You will need
donate now.
Yeah, donate now, and if you want to buy my tears, I can sell them. I can make tear jars for you.
Softy agrees. The Arkasudara, that's the name of the Radzat hand tribe, the elephants. Yeah, that's the Hippo Delivery quest. So that one was quite fun. So I do it if you want a bit of fun. It's got a lot of humor in it. The Omicron one was quite emotional, and it was definitely like a good tying up of loose ends for the Omicrons themselves and Endwalker. So I'd recommend doing that. And then the Loporrits, man, I'm not going to talk about Loporrits. I don't want to get angry. The Loporrits was the worst one of the 3. I'm sorry. Like if you like disco bunnies, then yeah, you'll enjoy it. But if you don't like disco bunnies, then it's boring.
But just a question about all the previous beast tribes, because I didn't complete any of them except the pixies, I believe. Yeah, I completed the pixies. All the other beast tribes, except the pixies and the Endwalker ones, are they worth to follow their entire story, or are the stories shitty?
I don't know. You get good XP.
There's one I really need to do.
I didn't do them for the XP
because you get a Vano head. I need the Vano head. So
I didn't do it.
That's right.
I didn't do any of them for XP. I did them for the stories, and some of the stories are better than others. Like, it's hard to say they're all good. Like, it depends what you're into, and it also depends. Like, did you really? What I'd say is, if you really enjoyed, what I'd say is, if you really enjoyed Stormblood, for example, the story, then do the Stormblood tribes. If you really enjoyed Shadowbringers, do the Shadowbringers tribes, because they all link kind of.
I enjoyed every single story, every patch.
You got to do them all.
With one of them.
Yeah, just do them. They're good. The stories are good. I think generally speaking, the stories are good, and they give you a bit of extra lore, and they tie up some loose ends from the story that you were doing during the expansion. I think they're really good quality content. I enjoy doing them.
I'll do
so
them.
I definitely recommend. And the rewards are really good as well. You get cool mounts from them. So, and the glams, like Bob was saying. But yeah, 6.55. We're getting that final tribes quest line, which will be interesting. We're getting more Hildy. We're getting the final relic weapon, Mandible weapon upgrade, the final one. And we're getting some more Tartarus Grand Endeavor. So that's going to be 6.55, which I believe, is also coming with the MSQ. So we'll get the final MSQ plus those bits as well. All right, Cristina, talk to us about Hildebrand.
Who Godbert actually is. Let's see.
Gonna do the Manderfield. No, I'm not gonna do the Manderfield, but Hildebrand.
We get a new dance, I hope, like some new Manderville emote. I'm looking
Oh
forward
my god!
to it.
It's gonna be
I hope
Then
so.
I can practice it for real life.
I'm skipping the cutscenes. I'm skipping.
Just want to
No,
dance.
don't do it.
I'm
I'm
skipping.
gonna kidnap Bell when I'm in London. I'm gonna
I'm
kidnap him. I'm
skipping
gonna
him.
tie him to a chair. I'm gonna
Force him to
use
watch the
those gorilla glue things to glue his eyes wide open, and I'm gonna force him to watch.
I
all
told you,
of
Cristina,
the
I watched
cutscenes.
all of those cutscenes all the way until
Yeah, but you skipped the
6.4.
best parts.
Oh, man,
You
I
skipped the best parts.
was protecting my
I swear to
sanity.
God. No.
Maybe.
Like saying
No.
you should totally watch this 300 episode anime. It gets really good after like episode 80 something. I'm not gonna see it for fucking 16 hours.
It gets good after a while. It's such a
Yeah.
common theme,
It's
right?
terrible. Then it should have been good from the beginning.
But no.
It was.
Hildebrand will live in somebody else's head. I don't need him.
No.
So Yoshi P
Yeah.
did say that Hildebrand's not going anywhere, and Dawn Trail he'll be back. So I guess we're stuck with
Nice.
him forever.
Yeah.
Um,
You're
Just
not
don't tie him
stuck
into
with
the
him
next
if you
relic.
don't follow the cutscenes. Then you're not
Yeah,
stuck
please
with
just-
him.
Please don't tie him into the next relic.
Yeah,
Oh,
please
Time
I
is the
don't.
hope
giant
they do.
taco that you need to build.
I hope
Yeah.
they do. really
Tartarus
hope they
Grand Endeavor, so it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. I mean, I'm hoping there's some really good reward finally at the end of that whole series
I don't
to
even
make it all
fucking
worth
remember
it.
what happened in Tartarus Grand Endeavor. I only remember that I did it and it was boring, but I was happy that I got the
Well,
glam.
as a reminder, the last Tartarus Grand Endeavor, it was focused on Gaius and his adopted kids. So we got to, we got to kind of find out more about them and their relationship with Gaius, which was quite nice. And you got to fly the goddamn cloud deck mecha thing, which is pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
it was actually a really good one, the last Tartarus Grand. It had nothing to do with Tataru, by the way. Okay, maybe it had something to do with Tataru, but it was really more of a Sorrow of Werlit plus story. So if any of you guys did the Sorrow of Werlit storyline, that was all the weapon trials, so the ruby, the emerald, and you got to learn about Gaius and his adopted kids, who ended up being used by that Garlean guy and to build these weapons. But basically, this last Tartarus Grand Endeavor, if you really like that story, do Tartarus Grand Endeavor, because you get to find out a lot more about what happened, and it's got a very emotional ending, Cristina, so you will definitely
Fuck's
cry.
sake, tissues, donate please.
It does actually have a very emotional ending, because it's to do with him and his kids. Obviously, he's only got one left alive, right? The girl, I forget what her name is, but there is
Oh wait, was that a part where I remember something vaguely about adopted kids and some weird ass machine?
Yeah.
And he was in the machine.
Well, they were all in
Basically became
machines.
the machine.
I mean, they were all in
They're all
machines
in
at
the
one point or
machines.
another.
Yeah, they basically become the machines, and then you
Yeah.
have to fight
Yeah.
it, and then the machine dies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
I know
Exactly.
that part. Fuck's sake.
That's the whole quest line, yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
Okay,
that
then I did it. It was just very deep in my head. But once he said that it would make me emotional, I was like, oh fuck, what can happen that will make me emotional? Oh fuck, the kids die. Shit. Yeah, I did it. I remember it.
But yeah, like
but
the you might have done the Sorrow of Werlit quest line, but not the Tartarus Grand Endeavor, because that's new. That only came out the last patch. So if you haven't done that, do
That's
it.
not
Because
the one that gave the glamour with the tattoo.
Oh, I'm not
No.
sure. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Because the thing from the.
Did you fly the mech?
Endeavor?
Did you fly the big mech, Cristina?
No.
Because if you didn't fly the big mech, then you haven't done it.
There's no
I don't know.
tattoo
I
glamour
just
reward
know-
from any Tatarus.
Yes, there is.
There is. Yeah, I think there is. Yeah.
The samurai.
Yeah, that was from one of the
ninja
top
Oh,
Tatarus.
is that where that was from?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with the
I
flower.
just had it in my
tattoos.
inventory sometime.
But I think that was the previous one, Cristina. Maybe the chat can confirm, but I think that was the previous quest. So yeah. But we are getting another Tartarus Grand Endeavor quest in January. It was 6.55. So I'm assuming that'll be the last one.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
For now.
For now.
I'm expecting
will return.
a glamour set at least, because that's
Yeah.
happened at the end of every expansion before we go to the next one.
Makes sense.
Also, well, you said fly a Big Mac, but next time I wanna ride a chicken nugget.
Not a Big Mac,
Nice.
a Big Mac. I mean, you
like
can
Big
fly a
Mac.
Big
I'm
Mac.
hungry.
Yeah,
Now I'm
Xaert
hungry
typed
as well.
Big Mac, and I was like, no, give me a chicken nugget. I want to fly on a chicken nugget.
It was really cool,
Tacos.
actually. Cool. I think we can start wrapping up, guys. So let's get some
Yeah.
final thoughts from everyone. So yeah, Growing Light is the name of the patch 6.5. I'm assuming it's to do with Zero, Growing Lights. I'm assuming that's kind of the reference to that. But yeah, it's coming out early October. We're now mid-August, so yeah, we've got about a month and a half before it comes out. But yeah, generally speaking, let's get the hype rating then. This has become a new feature of Alith-Cast. Hype rating between 1 to 10, about how hyped you are personally for 6.5. And you can be honest, so you're not going to get shot down if your hype level isn't 11 out of 10. Bob, what are you thinking?
I think for the wrap up of the whole Zero Gold Dust thing, 8 out of 10. I'm really looking forward to that. But to find out if Hildy is actually a god, 11 out of 10. Let's see.
You gave Hildy 11 out of 10, Bob. Wow.
No, his tie to the 12. That's the hype. I'm really curious if they're going that route, and I think we're going to find out whether or not they're going that route in this next patch cycle.
Maybe I will watch the cutscenes back just to catch up. Maybe I will. Cristina, do I even need to ask you?
Take a guess.
15 out of 10.
No! 1500! I am so excited, and I want to know what's going on with the Hildebrands. I am excited for everything. I'm excited for the alliance rate. I'm just little. I can't even say it out loud how excited I am. But nice. I'm also a little bit scared because I only have like 2 months to, work my ass off on these other things in game that I still have to do.
Plenty of stuff to do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hennek, what about yourself?
Yeah, I'm kind of same as Xaert here, where like story-wise, it's I'm not super into the story. It's cool. Mm-hmm. I get where it goes. It's like maybe a 7 on the story. Mm-hmm. Really hyped for new Extreme Trial. Really hyped to just get all those mounts out. New fun fights.
Criterion.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing 6.55, like the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Really, really excited for like all of it. So probably like a strong 8 for the whole. Mm-hmm. The whole of the Q4, I guess we can call it.
Yeah.
Q4 of 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm similar, so I'm really interested to see how they wrap up the Zero Final Fantasy IV story arc, and I'm really excited to start building up towards Dawn Trail. So yeah, from a story perspective, probably an 8 out of 10. In terms of content-wise, I mean, Criterion is up there. I'm pretty excited to finish the current one and then start on the next one. But there's lots of good content there to look forward to. I'm expecting they're going to reveal more information about 6.51, 6.55 in the upcoming live letters, so I'm sure we'll get some more information. But yeah, I'm fairly hyped. I'm going to ask the chat as we kind of do closing comments.
Yep.
What were you guys where's your hype level at, guys, in terms of 6.5 and 6.51 and 5.5, what we've just gone through? Where are you guys at in terms of hype levels? And we'll wrap up. So while the chat are giving us their ratings, I'll give you guys final comments before we wrap the show up. Bob, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No. Help me donate the Cristina fund for tissues. I need help.
Go fund.
Yes, please.
Don't make me pay for all of it. Thank you very much.
We're going to see you back on the cast soon, Bob?
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
Very much.
Good man. Cristina, any last words for your Alithians and all our guests?
Yes. Go fund my tissues, and I will make tier jars.
And vote on Alith. Vote on Alith
Vote
Awards.
for Alith Awards. I was about to say it, Belle. Come on. Vote for Alith Awards, and better make sure that if you didn't do the main scenario yet completely or whatever, just make sure you will be able to join us on the first new Alliance raid run, because it's going to be so much fun. And make sure that you come to me to the Fall Guys thing, but that's for later. So yeah.
Nicely said.
And thanks for watching.
Good sum up there, Cristina. Hennek, any last words from yourself? Any shout outs?
Yeah, keep signing up for events, keep being active, keep doing fun stuff. There's going to be more Extreme Trials to prep for getting the big one coming up in the next patch. Next time we're going to be doing a hard one, so get yourselves in gear. It's probably the second hardest one of the tiers so far. We'll see how bad Ceromus is. But yeah, do sign up for those. Do check in. Even if they're full, sign up as bench. Because last time we had some people dropping out last minute. We had to pull people in. Just sign up if you're interested. If a lot of people sign up, we'll do more. That's how easy it is. If we have 20 people sign up, we'll just do another one after. Don't worry about it.
I need a cat.
Nice.
And also, if you're interested in doing Eureka, just keep eyes peeled, because I will be posting a Eureka from the beginning event coming pretty soon.
Awesome.
I need that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, brilliant. On the top,
get everybody to the Baltesian Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. On the topic of events, Clem would murder me if I didn't plug it, but we are still welcoming more event leaders to join our event leading team. Because the more event leaders we have, the more events we can post up, the more fun we can have together. And also it takes some pressure off the current event leaders, because it means they can take breaks and not have to worry about us still having events in the calendar. If we've got enough event leaders, then the event leaders aren't pressured to constantly put events up. They can share the load more. So if you are interested in becoming an event leader, just reach out to Clem for any details. There is a post on the website and on Discord in terms of what the role entails, how you can apply. What I will say is that we're a casual social FC. There is no pressure being a member, and there's no pressure being an event leader. So as an event leader, you can literally host anything. It could be...
We need more social events.
There's only pressure when you're an officer. No, but what I wanted to add was, because Belle, you're not good at promoting this shit, you know.
Oh, we're still halfway through my promotion.
No. Wait. I'm just gonna say it
cut
here.
me off.
I'm just gonna say it here. You can have the cool title of event leader if you manage to host an event, and it can be literally anything. I mean, look at me. I host the Wake Up Level Up events every Sunday morning, but to be honest, I don't do much. I just talk and I'm just there, you know.
Party and promoted me.
No, exactly. That's how you become an event leader.
And the other thing that we're going to be encouraging our event leaders to do more of is make use of our FC funds that we have in the coffer. So we've been able to save up a lot of gil, and that gil is just sitting in the chest, and we want to give it back to the members. So the event leaders are going to be encouraged to use that money, give it out as prizes, rewards, because we don't want it to just sit there gathering dust. If you become an event leader, it means that you can host fun competitions, events, and you can use some of the FC funds to give out cool prizes.
You can spend money! That's not your money!
Now, I'm not saying come and be an event leader and clear out the FC chest. That's not what I'm saying. But you will get the benefit of being able to use those funds for prizes.
Belle knows how to make money by doing all this stuff that he explained during this cast. So just become an event leader, spend all the money, and then it's fine. We're cool.
Absolutely.
We're cool.
But we do need social events. So if you're interested in
do that,
then
it can be literally anything. Like we're a social casual FC, so it doesn't have to be all raids and dungeons. It can be social fun events as well.
Karaoke evening.
Indeed. Cool, but listen, thank you to my fellow casters for joining once again. I know it was a big ask to say come back literally a week afterwards, but I was glad that we could cover both FanFest Days content quite quickly, which is great. We'll have a little break now for a couple of weeks, I'm sure, before we do the next cast. Hopefully by then we'll have a lot more information about 6.5. So we'll be back. We have created a new Discord channel for Alith-Cast, where you can now find all of the Alith-Cast episodes in one place, and when we've scheduled a new Alith-Cast episode, it'll pop up in there, so you guys can always keep an eye on when the next cast is happening. But thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Loads of people joined us today, so Richard, Softy, Willip, Zombie, Parent Nero. I'm sure I'm going to miss some people. But it was good to see you guys.
Thanks everyone. We love you all.
And thank you. Thanks for making Alith awesome. Keep being awesome, and we'll see you guys at the next cast.
See you in Eureka.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.
See you in Eureka.